good day and welcome. Good morning, I should say, because it's actually pretty early right now. So this is the first time me filming outside. So yeah, the anxiety is pretty high. All kinds of people everywhere. So yeah, must adapt, I think. So my first informational video was kind of technical because I talked about like how to deal with injury and that types of stuff. So I'm pretty hyped to talk about a strength video right now. And in this video we're going to talk about how to do a push-up. Now if you saw my introduction video, I was not kidding when I said I was not able to do a push-up. I was not able to do a knee push-up, so I had to start with wall push-ups. So there's no shame in starting with this level. I'm going to explain it to you and hopefully you will get something out of it. So we are going to start with a wall or a tree. I use a tree to connect with the earth, of course. So before we even touch the tree, we want to be aware of our body positioning. We want to be straight like the tree and not crooked, not throwing shade to any crooked trees out there. So the first step is to lock our knees. We also do this in the normal push-up, so let's stay as close to reality as possible. The second step is to put our hips in a posterior pelvic tilt position. Now, not to expose the women out there, but most of them, when they walk around with a big behind, is because they use an anterior pelvic tilt. It's where your hips are rotated towards the back instead of the front. If you are not familiar with doing this, squeezing your glutes help a bit, so you get the position right. You can't really squeeze your glutes when you're in an anterior position. So rotate your hips to the front and then squeeze your glute, and that should be the perfect position. It makes it so that you don't have an arch in your back because we want to be straight like the tree. Third step, and this is still before we even touch the tree, is that we want to slightly round our upper back. Now if we take in a deep breath, we like put our chest up front, but if we blow out, we kind of naturally go into position. So breathe in, and when we breathe out, we slightly round our upper back, and that's perfect for a push-up. The fourth step is to get our shoulder position right. Our shoulders need to be down and forward. So down and forward. This makes it so that we have a better position to push from. Now through the entire range of motion from the push-up, we want to keep our shoulders down and forward. Performing it like this way has better carryover to more advanced skills like the dip or the handstand push-up and even the planche. Now if we combine all the steps, we get a pretty good alignment. So we lock our knees, we put our hips in a posterior pelvic tilt, we slightly have a rounded upper back, we push our shoulders down and forward. Now the fifth step, and this is optional but I highly recommend this, is to put your biceps in front of you so that when we bend our arms, they go like straight like this. If we do not push our biceps forward and have them like this, our arms will go to the side. This is a bit more injury sensitive position. Now I get the people that will say, yeah, but when we put our elbows out, we activate more of our chest and our chest will become 2 millimeters bigger. But for beginners, I see no use to this. It is a way safer position to put your elbows right beside you, and that will be perfect. It will also make the entire move look way cleaner, and like I said before, you get a better strength progression. So let's combine everything and do a few reps. Knees, hips, squeeze glutes and abs if you like, slightly round upper back and put your shoulders down and forward while rotating your arms towards the front, keeping your biceps forward. Now slowly go down and push up again. Now before we do the actual push-up, it might be smart to warm up our wrists a bit, and keep in mind that when we do a push-up, we want to have our hands slightly below our shoulders. If we can do 10 reps of wall push-ups or tree push-ups, we are ready for knee push-ups. This is the next progression in unlocking your first push-up. It's also a great strengthening exercise if your regular push-ups are not really up to quality yet. And this is a perfect step before that. Now the beauty of my explanation of wall push-ups is that we can implement all the steps for knee push-ups besides the locking out of the knees, because we are on our knees. So get into position, rotate your hips to a posterior pelvic tilt, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your abs, slightly round your upper back, get your shoulders down and forward, rotate arms towards the front so your biceps points forward, and slowly go down. While you are performing the reps, try to keep your shoulders down and forward. If you can do 10 knee push-ups, 20 is even better, then you are definitely ready for your first regular push-up, so congratulations. So repeat the exact same steps as in the wall push-ups. Lock your knees, rotate your hips, squeeze glutes and abs, slightly round your upper back, get your shoulder position down and forward, biceps point forward, slowly go down while keeping your shoulder position and body alignment the exact same. You want to move up and down like a plank. Your line never changes, only whether your arms are bent or straight. That's the only thing that changes. Also keep in mind, don't do a gooseneck. A gooseneck is when you have your neck like this and you're kind of searching for something that's not there. You want to keep a neutral neck to save yourself from an injury. Now if you can do 5 sets of 5 push-ups, I think you are ready for the dip. The dip is where you will see your first serious gains, and I still implement it in my training to this day. Find a dip bar and implement the exact same form tips as I gave with the push-up. It's the exact same. You can do this with bent legs or straight legs. I prefer straight legs because it gives me a more natural position. Rotate your hips into a posterior pelvic tilt, squeeze glutes, squeeze abs, slightly round your upper back, push your shoulders down and forward and keep a neutral neck. Point biceps forward and slowly go down. Now with the dip, it is important to keep your elbows a bit above your wrist, slightly in front or at the back is not bad at all, but slightly more forward is more difficult, slightly more back is a bit easier, so keep that in mind. But if you want to do a proper dip, you kind of lean forward with your shoulders while going down. Now if you cannot do a dip yet, you are a failure. Just kidding. If you cannot do a dip yet, there are easier progressions. The first progression is where you lock out your elbows and get used to the top position. This is called a support position. What we can do in the support position is do small range of motion reps, where we not go all the way down, but just do a little bend in the arms and go back to support position again. Keep in mind, lock out your elbows with every rep. Now if we get good at half range of motion reps, we can see if we can do a dip negative. This is where we go all the way down, but hold a bit at the bottom and then just let go. Jump up again in position and perform another dip negative. Then we will definitely be if we can do this a few times in a row, we can definitely do a regular dip. So jump up the bar, rotate your hips, squeeze glutes, squeeze abs, slightly round upper back, get your shoulder position right, down and forward, get your neck in a neutral position, and while bending your arms, slightly lean forward, hold at 90 degrees and push back up again. This is a dip. Now you can choose 1, 2 or 3 exercises I explained in this video and do 2 to 5 sets of each of them. Rest 1 to 2 minutes in between sets and perform a proper workout. Pick exercises that are easy for you, but start with the ones that are a bit more challenging. Always perform quality over quantity. Don't sacrifice your form in order to get more reps. This is purely ego and we don't want this. Now if you experience any discomfort in your shoulder, please check out my shoulder injury video where I explain a lot of how you can deal with this. That was it for this video. Hopefully you got something out of this and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.